Okay. And then I do see that it's noon and I want to respect everybody's time. So we can get started. So Mrs. Mann, if you do want to start the slideshow and we can just get started. Okay. So welcome to our final Lunch and Learn of the school year. Today's topic is going to be about career exploration. So we're going to just share some various resources and supports that we utilize to help students plan for their futures after high school. And then we'll talk about how we can help you guys facilitate these conversations at home as well. Although, like, I'm sure many of you are already doing that already. We can go to the next slide. Perfect. So here we have a list of a few questions that you can consider when having these future-oriented conversations with your child. So what would they enjoy? And, in contrast, what would they absolutely hate? What's important to them when they think about their future job? So is it, money and salary? Is it a specific work environment? People-focused, task-oriented? Do they want to be a part of a team? So ultimately, it's really helpful to determine those values and their interests along with what they're good at. So one thing that the counseling team has created here at the school is what's called Career Club. So we meet regularly throughout the year during the school day so that as many students who can participate as possible, it's available to them. So we bring in guest speakers to speak with these students in the auditorium for about 20 minutes during their lunch period. And it's always going to be about like their career, so that students can have the opportunity to ask questions, to hear about the highs and lows of specific jobs, to learn about the salary, to learn about what maybe a typical day might look like, even like the educational background and pathways to reach those careers. So we've had anything from like a real estate agent, an interior designer, a vet tech came, we've had a firefighter, a sports agent, we've had all kinds of people come in and talk about these various careers so that students can learn more about the things that are happening in the world. And then U-Science, this is another really great resource that we use that allows students to match their aptitudes with their interests. And so far, we've been able to grant access to our students to this resource for free. So it consists of 11 brain games that measure what they're good at and what they enjoy. And then once they complete the entire assessment, U-Science provides an incredibly comprehensive list of careers that would be a good fit for that student, what some challenges might be. They even provide like background to those careers, like average salary, the pathways to enter into that career, and more. And then they even separate like, this is what they'd be good at and interested in. This is like based on their interests. This is based on their aptitude. So they can look at like all the various things that might be available to them based on their responses.
So like Sarah was saying with the U-Science, there's also other interest inventories that students may want to take advantage of. Interest inventories they're an important tool in really trying to determine what career do I want to pursue in my future? And we just put 4 other possible free options that are online to use, but there are hundreds out there. Some of them are interest inventories, and then some of them are really like personality tests or aptitude tests. And those are important because they're already going to tell you what you are naturally good at. Are you a natural leader? Are you naturally somebody who thrives in working in a team environment? So those are kind of important to determine when having these conversations with your child about what does that future look like for you? To go back to what Mrs. Schnell had talked about with the U-Science hits that sweet spot of what are you interested in? What are you naturally good at? And gives out a really comprehensive list of possible fields of study and careers to look at for the future. Okay, so along with doing the inventories for the personality and the interest inventories, research is a good one to also do. If your child starts to kind of just throw out, hey, I'm interested in being a lawyer, or I'm interested in learning more about what medical sales may look like. Doing some of that research on the front end is never going to hurt them. It's only going to ever be a positive. One of the website that we have written down here, the roadtripnation.com, that's a really cool website. I was playing around with it today, and it actually will kind of map out for you and link you with coaches to talk to. You can create an account, but that's a really good one to kind of just look at different careers and what that really entails. What kind of school is needed? Will that determine, like, if I'm super interested in film, I'm not probably going to go to a school that doesn't specialize it. I would probably go to more of a specialty school that specifically offers that program, but then also is big into the arts. So doing all that research, you want to look at what background is required for the field, and what does that job actually involve? And a lot of times when you start thinking about, well, let me picture the day-to-day. Is that something I see myself? If I like to be up moving and working with my hands, having a desk job where you're sitting at a computer from 9 to 5 probably is not going to be a good fit. So making sure you're doing that research. And then when we talk about the job shadow experience, actually getting out there and observing what that job is day in and day out is going to be very beneficial for our students. We're lucky here at Worthington Kilbourne. We offer our seniors what's called a senior project, and that's a wonderful opportunity for our seniors. It's the last month of school. So we actually have a handful of seniors who are not coming to school every day, but are doing or shadowing and interning at a job that they are interested in. So they get that hands-on experience where they can go every day and see parts of the job that maybe they never thought would be entailed in that job. So that's a wonderful opportunity that Kilbourne offers for our seniors. But then once you graduate high school and you're still, hopefully you've already started thinking about what colleges or what careers you want to look at. There are opportunities where you can just contact a company and say, can I come in and observe, or can my child come in and observe for a week or for several days, just to see what is really involved with that career.
And when Mrs. Mann was talking about the fact that you can do these job shadowing opportunities, whether it's an actual formal shadowing experience or just an informal conversation with people, students come into contact with people that have so many different jobs and so many different opportunities. And it's really a wonderful experience when they can get a grasp of what that job might look like and what would be entailed. And so a lot of times, though, kids aren't sure what they should ask. And so we try to make that as easy as possible by giving them some questions to spur that conversation that they can be having with professionals about their job, so that they know additional insight about what they might want to walk away from. And again, a job shadow can literally be a partial day, a full day. Most people are very generous with being willing to answer questions. So I might not be allowed to let you come in and shadow. And if I can't, that's okay. But then I can still at least give you that opportunity to maybe talk a little bit about my job. So, can I take you for coffee and talk about your job? Most people are very open to doing that because they've been there too, of trying to figure out what they want to do. And so we've got information on the counselor website, and you saw that some of the different places. We have a whole section on the website that's based around careers, to try and make a lot of information accessible to our students and families. In addition to giving you some guidance about those conversations, seeking opportunities to volunteer in places can expose you to a lot more people. So sometimes it gives you that chance to use those skills and talents and abilities that our students have, and that's a really valuable thing in and of itself. But you're also being exposed to more people, more professionals, more jobs. And so I could go and volunteer at a nonprofit organization where I might see somebody who's working in marketing, and I might see somebody who's working in development of, coming up with new projects and new ideas and new fundraising opportunities. So there are lots of types of people and types of jobs, as well as the other people who would be there volunteering with the students as they're getting those real world experiences while they're volunteering and learning more about careers too. And then the other thing that your son or daughter might be interested in looking at would be different summer camp experiences. There are so many opportunities. Some of these are done by colleges. Maybe they have something that's specific to a major in their school that they're trying to engage students in the chance to come and learn more about. So you can see here, again, we have a whole bunch of camp opportunities on the counselor website. And so if I'm interested in athletic training, then maybe I would want to take advantage of that camp opportunity. Or if I'm looking at law and trial stuff, I might want to go to that. And so sometimes they are specific to an organization, like the Ohio Business Week does their business camp, whereas others are connected to a college. It doesn't mean that your son or daughter has to look at that college or even be remotely interested in that college for the future. They still get that camp experience and opportunity. And if they go and they're like, I hate this, that's giving them a ton of really good information before they would end up going to college and studying that particular field and then realizing maybe this isn't the one for them. So, and there are, these are the ones that we have been given information about, but there are tons of other camps that you can always just Google and look for, because there's lots of opportunities that are out there. Like I know we just got some information about some Columbus State camps that haven't quite made it to our website, but we'll be adding those in the next day or so as well. So it's always growing. This list is always changing. So we try to keep everything as up to date on the website as we can to make it useful for you and your family.
All right. So oftentimes students like to fill their day with part-time jobs or summer jobs when they're not in school and they're not in extracurriculars. So each spring, the district has hosted a job fair. It's a coordinated effort with Thomas and Kilbourne. We just had it a couple weeks ago. They hold it at the Worthington Education Center. But we bring in employers who are seeking employees for part-time work, summer work, and possibility leading into post-secondary employment as well. So students can explore just temporary work or work that could lead into more permanent jobs as they work through graduation and beyond. And then we also, Ms. Mann has showed you the college and career tab on the website. In that menu, we also have current job opportunities. So any employers who are seeking high school students for jobs, we keep a running list on that website as well. So if you're taking anything from this, we try to put all the resources that come to us for our students on the website so that they have access to see opportunities for them in careers and or employment while in high school and beyond. And then we also do support our students in the career development with programming at the high school. So we have a cooperation with the Delaware Area Career Center where they have 2-year programs for students to begin their junior year and proceed their senior year. There's a wide variety. You can find a full list of the opportunities that the Career Center offers for their programming on their website, delawareareacc.org. They have anything from fire to health science to cosmetology to construction to pre-engineering to digital design, equine. So there's a full list on there. They also have developed several senior only programs. They have some that are they have one that's during the day, pharmacy technician for senior only, but they've also developed about 5 of them that are for seniors only, and they're in the afternoon. So they're from 2:30 to 5:30. So again, with that training of a career focus. So the labs focus on those careers and preparing the students for those careers. We also have pre-apprenticeship programs that we have developed. So we currently have 4 of them. We have them with Performance Columbus, which is vehicle-based, so engines and vehicle maintenance and electrical in cars with Drive Direct. We have Worthington Industries, which is with their steel and cylinder divisions. We have something with Eco Plumbers, so learning pipes and valve fitting. And then the newest one is with Simpson Strong Tie, which is like a press, so steel press and cutting. And then some of our academic programs obviously are career-based. So our students get to choose electives to meet their 20 credits. And so we have engineering programs that are career-based. Our law classes dive into law as a possibility, our business classes. So there's a lots of variety, athletic training in our electives that students, as they're thinking about themselves as adults outside of high school, can explore career-based electives to figure out if that is something that they would like to further learn about. And then finally, our seniors, as Mrs. Mann had mentioned, have the senior project opportunities for that last 6 weeks that they get to choose a mentor and do a internship, externship with in that profession to hone in on whether that is something they truly enjoy or not. And that's it. We try to keep it short. We want to give you guys opportunities to ask questions that you have about the topic of career exploration. And if you want to go ahead and if you have any questions, type them in the chat and then we will read them out loud and answer them. And again, the takeaway is everything that we have related to this that we think can be useful to you and your child is on the counselor website, as well as a phone call or email to us. But we try to keep everything we get on there for you for use.
And I know one of the opportunities that we didn't have a right place to fit into the slides for today, but like if any of your sons or daughters are graduating in just a few days from now, there are opportunities for kids that are still not sure what they want to do to have opportunities to start working a job and then also get their education paid for. So for example, we just recently got information from Ohio Health about a grads to work program where they work entry-level non-clinical jobs. So like patient transportation or front desk or patient escort kind of things. But then they can also get their degree with Strayer University in either business, marketing, IT, or accounting. So there's 4 different areas that they can get their degree for free. So it has nothing to do with what they're doing for their actual job. It's just that partnership opportunity that some organizations are providing to get more people in their door and working, and then also give them that opportunity to start growing as an individual and as a professional towards their education as well. But we really do want to make sure that we're answering your questions. So please feel free to type those in the chat. Because we know we gave you a lot of information as we were talking. And so we want to make sure that all of that information that from the PowerPoint was hitting the things you were wanting. The reality is that careers today are different than what it was, and even careers that are available right now in 20 years, some of those may not exist, and they may be replaced by ChatGPT for all I know. But also there are going to be a lot of careers that currently don't exist and will be there someday. And so, you know, the reality being that kids aren't always going to pick their job when they are a senior in high school and be with that job for forever. I know that I'm not doing what I thought I would be doing. I don't want to speak for all the rest of the counselors, but pretty sure knowing all of them and their stories, I can easily say none of us, this was not what when we were sitting there in high school, that we could ever imagine doing. And now this is the greatest job we could imagine. So people will change, and their interests will change, and their education will change, and that's all a normal part of the process. I'd say, Mrs. Mann, if you want to stop the recording, and again, we'll hang here for another few minutes.